Time check, I'm saying goodbye. It's 6 o'clock in the studios of DBS Radio. It's time to bring you this evening's presentation of the news.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the Atkinson Village Council reports that at least 10 people have been displaced following trough system on Sunday. In news from the region, Antigua Prime Minister predicts over US $2 billion in new investments ahead of general election. And internationally, King Charles III calls for a renewed commitment between the United States and the United Kingdom. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
DBS Radio on the go. www.dbcradio.net. Click the play button at the top and you're good to go with the nation station, DBS Radio.
DBS News.
Welcome back. The community of Atkinson has been left in a state of shock following the passage of a trough system on Sunday, which displaced at least 10 individuals. Roads, housing, and other infrastructures have been compromised following the passage of the trough system. Clerk of the Atkinson Village Council, Alicia Lewis, spoke to DBS News this afternoon.
Atkinson is rather on the sad side. We have a total of 5 houses completely damaged. We have 2 persons at the shelter right now. We have at least 10 persons displaced. They are at family or a neighbor. We lost a bakery. One of the owners, the homeowners, they own the bakery as well. He lost that, Mr. Cornell Abraham. Well, the community was out of water and light for the last 2 days, but it came back. However, the water it's not safe to drink. So water would be a need for the community right now. We have persons without clothes. We only have 2 persons in the shelter, an elderly lady and her son. We have gotten a lot of outflow of people. We appreciate that, ODM. Everybody, we appreciate it. We accept everything. And we are grateful for everybody who has turned out so far, the Prime Minister, the Minister, ODM, Joshua Francis, the opposition. We have been receiving a lot of love, and we appreciate that. Okay, there's a section behind the Atkinson Primary School. That's where 4 houses got damaged, and lower down in the community of Antrevo, one gentleman's house was submerged underwater and mud. We have a few in the upper part of the community and the lower part, one gentleman in the lower part. One of the homeowners, they had 2 children. Well, they're just waiting. There's nothing they can really do. The school may need to be checked. It's not safe for the children because it happened directly behind the schools. To the persons affected, they need to hold strong, trust in God, and their people for them.
Clerk of the Atkinson Village Council, Alicia Lewis. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the death of Ian Pinard will create a void at the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority. His comments came this morning as the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority DASPA held a remembrance ceremony in honor of Mr. Pinard, who was Chief Executive Officer of the institution.
But Ian was always a conscientious person and a people's person. And this is the kind of politicians, we speak about. Somebody who is concerned about the welfare and well-being of the people. And he brought this everywhere he worked and to everyone he interacted with, whether it was at Petro-Caribbean or at the Pond Michel Credit Union back in the days, and here at DASPA. And if the longshoremen and the stevedores can like you as a general manager of the port, then you are yours. But Ian was able to work with them and to warn himself towards them, understanding that we all have to work together for the greater good of the port and the greater good of the country. But clearly, Ian's departure from Earth has has left a huge gap that is going to be very difficult to fill. And so you at DASPA, you have a crucial role to play in the national economic landscape of Dominica. And it is important that the various managers and supervisors understand and get together to work together for the greater good of DASPA and for the greater good of the country. I know that the board will have a difficulty, a huge task, in finding someone with the qualities that are required for a port like this to replace Ian Pinard. So I do not envy the DASPA board in that.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Meantime, Deputy Comptroller of Customs Vincent Christmas says the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority has lost a servant of the people.
I did not know Mr. Pinard personally, but as Deputy Comptroller of Customs, I had the privilege of working alongside him and witnessing firsthand his personality. He was polite and well-mannered, always willing to listen, and very diplomatic with his responses. The Customs and Excise Division is deeply saddened by the sudden loss of our colleague. His presence brought not only professionalism and dedication to our workplace, but also warmth and kindness, and that touched everyone. He will be remembered for his willingness to help, his thoughtful perspective, and positive energy he shared every day. Beyond his work, he was a person who made others feel valued and supported. And that is a legacy that will not be forgotten. On behalf of the management and staff of the Customs and Excise Division, I extend sincere condolences to his family, co-workers, friends, all who had the privilege of knowing him.
Deputy Comptroller of Customs Vincent Christmas. Acting Director of Med Service in Dominica, Marshal Alexander, says there are factors which could influence an increase in the development of weather systems during the hurricane season. He told the Disaster and You program on DBS Radio this morning there are also factors that may be good for Dominica.
In terms of expectation for hurricane season, we always depend or we look forward to the forecast that is done by NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and they usually do two forecasts for the hurricane season. The first forecast is done in May, somewhere towards the end of May, somewhere maybe 23rd or so, and the second forecast is done during the peak of the hurricane season, sometime in August. So we are looking forward to the next forecast, but what I can say is that we have been seeing an increase in sea surface temperatures over the years. Last year, you will have heard of a record, and this year we have another record. So we can clearly see that temperatures are getting higher. So ocean temperatures are getting higher, and that is the fuel for the development of tropical systems, which would include tropical storms, hurricanes, etc. So with that, we can expect to see an increase in the development of systems looking at warm ocean temperatures. However, there are other factors to consider. Now, we are looking at this year what is called El Nino. And El Nino for us in Dominica is a good thing because it generates a lot of wind shear over the Atlantic Ocean. Well, El Nino is basically the warming of the ocean of the Eastern Pacific. And what it does is that it causes the winds at the upper levels to move from west to east over the area of Dominica. And if a system develops, the wind shear will kind of break up or disrupt the energy of that system.
Acting Director of Med Service in Dominica, Marshal Alexander. Minister for Tourism Denise Charles Pemberton has called on employees of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority to consider what actions they can take to emulate the work of the late Ian Pinard. The Dominica Air and Seaport Authority held a remembrance ceremony this morning in honor of Mr. Pinard, the former Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority.
In just over a year, he left a mark that many may take a lifetime to make. and he did so with distinction. For his passion to achieve, his commitment to excellence, and most importantly, his genuine love for people. And many of you can speak to that personally. Those Monday morning walks where he made it his duty to greet each and every one of you. He did that because your well-being mattered to him. He saw people first. Every leader has a different style. Ian's style was simple. People first, staff first. Even when he faced challenges, even with what he inherited, he made sure that your welfare remained his priority. And that is why his leadership connected so deeply. Now, as we gather to honor a man who touched so many lives, we must ask ourselves a very important question. How do we carry this forward? How do we ensure that the good work he has started continues? How do we ensure that DASPA remains one of the best places to work? How do we ensure that this organization continues to operate efficiently, to generate the revenues needed, and to grow, especially as we move forward to the expansion of our ports?
Minister of Tourism Denise Charles Pemberton. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, is urging candidates across the region to approach the upcoming May-June 2026 session with confidence, self-care, and assurance. 965 Dominican candidates have registered to seat the May-June 2026 examinations. CXC Registrar and CEO Dr. Wayne Wesley issued this message ahead of the examination period.
Over the decades, we have grown in the number of subjects we offer, the qualifications within our portfolio, and in how we deliver assessment. Today, this includes electronic assessment, and for the first time, micro-credentials. During this year's examination session, approximately 2,443 candidates from 13 member states will take part in the pilot of CTEC, the Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate Mathematics Module 1. This is the future of Caribbean education, taking shape right now. To you, the candidates, you have worked for this. Your teachers have prepared you. Your parents and guardians have supported you. Now it's your time to shine. As you make your final preparations, use your time wisely. Look after yourself and your mental well-being. Eat well and rest when you need to. Our examinations are designed to ensure that no one is unfairly disadvantaged. We monitor our examinations. We uphold the integrity of our processes. And where we must act to protect the interests of our candidates, we will act. So be confident. Show up for all your examinations.
CXC Registrar and CEO Dr. Wayne Wesley. The written examination period for the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, begins on May 4th. A recreational area on the lower campus of the Dominica State College has received an uplift through a donation by the Office of the National Authorizing Officer of the European Development Fund. The project included the construction of a gazebo, the installation of 7 solar-powered lights, and the repair of a significant portion of the perimeter fence at the back of the campus. Kimberly Benjamin is the Marketing and Communications Officer at the Dominica State College.
The Office of the National Authorizing Officer of the European Development Fund, EDF, successfully assisted the Dominica State College in the timely enhancement of recreational space for students. The project saw the construction of a gazebo in the lower campus of the college, the installation of 7 solar-powered lights, and the repair of a significant portion of the perimeter fence at the back of the campus. In addition to creating a new recreational space for DSC students, the project significantly strengthens safety and security measures for both students and staff, with the lighting of the lower campus yard and fencing restoration. For the college, the absence of lower campus lighting and a fully fenced perimeter have been long-standing issues which arose after the damaging impact of Hurricane Maria. This initiative forms part of a broader partnership between the NAO and DSC aimed at enhancing infrastructure and creating a safer, more conducive learning environment on campus. The introduction of solar lighting also reflects a commitment to sustainable and energy-efficient solutions. The Dominica State College continues to benefit from strategic collaborations that support its mission of delivering quality education within a secure and modernized campus setting.
Marketing and Communications Officer at the Dominica State College, Kimberly Benjamin. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
DBS Radio on the go. www.dbcradio.net. Click the play button at the top and you're good to go with the nation station, DBS Radio.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Prime Minister and Finance Minister Gaston Brong has stated that Antigua and Barbuda is poised to attract over $2 billion in new investments in the upcoming months and years as he advocates for the achievements of his administration in promoting increased economic growth. He detailed the various projects during ABS TV's Know Your Candidates program on Tuesday in anticipation of the general election scheduled for Thursday. His remarks came in the wake of the International Monetary Fund's most recent article report on Antigua and Barbuda, which was published in February.
The IMF had predicted that there could be a reduction in investment flows, in revenues, but we are seeing Antigua and Barbuda continue to hold steady. Our revenues continue to increase and investments are still flowing. We have over $2 billion in investments in the pipe, which will take place in the ensuing months and years. So, for example, we have about $200 million to invest in expansion of 5 islands. That will start by third quarter of this year. There's a Marriott hotel being built to be completed by about April of next year. The Merby luxury hotel property will start construction shortly as well. We have Robert De Niro's Nobu Resort in Barbuda that will be open for the first quarter of next year. There's the one and only hotel that's almost a $500 million project, and that will start late in the year. Got delayed again because of the war in the Middle East, in Iran, and the fact that the Gulf countries have been drawn into this conflict. We again, you have the Calvinia development, for example, that's going to be a few $100 million. And these are not projects in the sky, and these are not wishful thinking. These are projects in which a significant amount of resources have been invested already.
Prime Minister and Finance Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brong. And internationally, King Charles III has called for a renewed commitment between the United States and the United Kingdom as he delivered a formal address marking the 250th anniversary of American independence. In his remarks, the British monarch underscored the enduring global influence of the United States, stressing that its actions carry even greater significance than its words.
America's words carry weight and meaning, as they have since independence. The actions of this great nation matter even more. President Lincoln understood this so well with his reflection in the magisterial Gettysburg Address that the world may little note what we say, but will never forget what we do. And so to the United States of America, on your 250th birthday, let our two countries rededicate ourselves to each other in the selfless service of our peoples and of all the peoples of the world. God bless the United States and God bless the United Kingdom.
British monarch King Charles III. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Ali and Christopher.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Well, good evening. I'm Ali and Christopher of the DBS Sports Report. The Windward Island Volcanoes are 17-1 at stumps heading into day 4 of their 4-day match with the Guyana Happy Eagles. The Windward Island Volcanoes require another 302 runs to win with 9 wickets remaining. Stephen Pascal and Kavem Hodge are unbeaten with 4 runs each. Akeem August made 7. Earlier in the day, Tajnarain Chandapal was unbeaten on 117 and Gudakesh Moti made 53 as the Eagles pushed the lead to over 300 runs. Ryan John took 3 for 58 and Kenneth Demba 3 for 52. Guyana opener Tajnarain Chandapal, speaking after stumps on day 3, is hopeful that his team can defend their total.
Feeling great, nice to get a century. I was in a bit of trouble up front, but eventually, we got a decent total and hopefully we can defend it tomorrow. Definitely feel a bit better today, a bit more positive. Came a bit easier today. Just hope we could keep the flow, We needed some runs, lost a few wickets up front, and just happy we finished with the lead is about 318 or so. Yeah, decent total.
Guyana Happy Eagles batsman Tajnarain Chandapal. So the scores in that match, Guyana Happy Eagles 242 and 299. The Windwards 223 and are 17-1 at stumps. Windwards require another 302 runs to win with 9 wickets remaining. And in Trinidad, the Leeward Island Hurricanes are 160-4 at stumps following on. Leewards are trailing by 17 runs with 6 wickets in hand. Scores: Trinidad and Tobago Red Force 522 for 9 declared. Joshua Da Silva made 220. Carrie Magor took 4 for 86 for the Leewards. Leewards scored 345 and are 160-4. Casey Carty is unbeaten on 84 and Justin Greaves unbeaten on 19. And in Jamaica, the Barbados Pride won by an innings and 11 runs over the Jamaica Scorpions. The scores: Pride 439, led by Jonathan Drakes with 94. West Indies captain Ruston Chase made 84 and Craig Brathwaite 74. Lenico Boucher also got a half century for the Barbados Pride. The Scorpions in response made 142 with John Campbell getting 36. Asked to follow on, the Scorpions were bowled out for 286. Brandon King got 63, Odin Smith 73. Joshua Bishop picked up 5 for 72 for Barbados Pride. The Barbados Pride winning by an innings and 11 runs. The Pierre Charles Secondary School are into the finals of the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Boys Basketball Tournament. They did so with a win over the St. Mary's Academy on Tuesday afternoon at Winter Park. Well, Gavin Richards spoke with both coaches following the match at Winter Park.
The Pierre Charles Secondary School have advanced to the finals of the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Boys Basketball Competition. They've just beaten the St. Mary's Academy in the playoff matchup. With me now is the head coach of the Pierre Charles Secondary School, Yawani Regis. Yawani, just talk to me quickly about the game. What did you make of the effort?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my team today. I feel like most of the game they listened to me. I was very happy for that from them. And I was happy that we could beat SMA twice in a row to go into the finals. Finals is going to be a very hard game against the college. So we have to come for full effort, full story.
You had to dig deep because SMA had the lead after the halftime break. So what sort of adjustments did you make with your team at that point in time?
Yes, we were just lacking on the offense a little. We wasn't making our shots, so I had to talk to the fellas. They had to make their shots and tighten up on the defense, and they did so.
All right, and coming up against the college in the finals, what would be some of the things that you think you might need to work on?
Sure, we have to work on our defense. Or to score our baskets. We have to score our baskets and to listen. We have to pay attention to listen and we'll do all right.
All right, thank you very much, Yohani Regis. Now the head coach of the St. Mary's Academy team, Yannick Regis. Yannick, a tough one for you to swallow this afternoon.
Tough game, Gavin. We started so well, and then we lost our composure, and then that's the main thing, composure. So congratulations to the PCSS team. That's my whole alma mater. I'm very proud of them and the energy and the effort they put out there. And they deserve to win. I think the better team deserve to win, and they won. So kudos to them. Kudos to the coach, Yohani Regis. He did a wonderful job with them so far. And I wish them well in the finals against college.
All right. You had the lead and you sort of lost that. That's okay in terms of basketball. Runs will happen. But towards the end of the game, you really struggled to make free throws. And you lost the game by single digits. How much do you think that contributed?
Well, Gavin, at the end of the day, you know how it goes. Rebounding and free throws win games. So as long as you cannot do those two things, you will struggle. And we evidently struggled at the end. I believe if we had made those free throws, we missed like 7 in a row. At that time, the lead was 5. So if we had converted those shots, we'd definitely be in the game to win it. And I think we would be able to pull out. We are struggling with our injuries. I would say that. I had 2 players that were injured, and they played with it. But you can see that they wasn't at 100%. But I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of our season. Last year we didn't do so well. This year we made it to the semi-finals. I'm very proud of my team and look forward to next year and the under-15s.
All right, thank you very much, Yannick Regis, head coach of the St. Mary's Academy team. So that's the final scores here at Windsor Park. This Pierre Charles Secondary School, they've beaten the SMA 64-57, and the Pierre Charles Secondary School will meet the Dominica State College in the finals.
And that was Gavin Richards speaking with Yannick Regis, coach of St. Mary's Academy, and before him, his younger brother, Yohani Regis, coach of the Pierre Charles Secondary School. DFA Acting Competitions Coordinator Kelvin Francois says the DFA intends to fully digitize its operations for the smooth running of its various leagues. Francois says the Dominica Football Association intends on using the FIFA Connect system, which will manage team registration and other logistics for matches. He says the move will make the leagues run more efficiently.
I'd like to introduce this year, and of course, that is the FIFA Connect management system. That system, it will take care of the registrations, the transfers, and of course, the competitions aspect of our football. We are trying to move away from the paper stuff and go fully electronic or digital in terms of those various aspects of the leagues. We're having some challenges with that because the training and the preparations that were provided for the clubs, it kind of fell through because the support system for the continuity, that aspect of it sort of kind of lagged. So we are working on that. And of course, our MA is not fully prepared by the FIFA representatives in terms of the various mechanisms that have to be put in place. What we would urge the clubs is when we are ready to have them submit their clubs, like their players and so on, onto the system, that they will be ready for that and they will have all their necessary information prepared.
DFA Acting Competitions Coordinator Kelvin Francois. President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne, says a decision on the selection of the men's national football coach can be expected soon. Etienne says the DFA is currently reviewing applications and has narrowed the field down to 50 applicants. He says an announcement will be made soon as the team has to begin preparations for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League matches scheduled for September. Dominica will be in League B of that competition.
Well, we have the CNL games coming up soon. When I mean soon, is in September, which Dominica will participate in that CNL game. We have to get a senior men's coach for the team. Well, Kurt Hurd is in our midst here. I want to tell him thank you for the tremendous work he have done recently. I mean, we have to be fair. I think I watched the game I watched. You could see a different quality. If you want to see it moved up a little bit. So we want to say thanks to Kurt for that. So, yes, but it's something that the executive we'll have to look very early in terms of having a selectives. Previously, maybe you're aware of that, we have had a number of persons applying, big numbers. We are streaming down to about 50 or so. So it's something we still have to look at and come up with someone that can help us for the CNL games. Yeah, it's a serious matter. We have to deal with it in maybe at our next executive board meeting. We can't continue, having an interim person as the head coach. We need somebody that can carry on the mantle and get us results. At the end of it, one might just say about the results, but we need somebody that can really take us with the men to another pathway.
And that's President of the Dominica Football Association, Glenn Etienne. Well, that's a wrap on this evening's Sport Report. I've been the presenter, Arlian Christopher. Of course, Leila Langford brought you this evening's news. On behalf of the entire news and sports department, we're saying good evening.
And now, your Community Bulletin Board.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 28th day of April 2026. The Northeastern Funeral Association is pleased to invite everyone, including their members, patrons, and well-wishers, to attend their 41st annual general meeting, which will be held on Wednesday, the 29th of April at 9:30 a.m. at their Fonkole office at the Fonkole Industrial Site. New membership registration will be at half price, so please take advantage of this offer and make a special effort to attend. Save the dates and go celebrate with them. The Independent Regulatory Commission, the IRC, wishes to inform all residents of La Plaine and neighboring villages from Grand Fort to Delis of a public meeting to be held at the La Plaine Primary School on Thursday, April 26th. Or let me take that again, on Thursday, April 30th, So that's a meeting with the IRC at the La Plaine Primary School on Thursday, April 30th, 2026 at 5 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss DOMLEC's proposed revised electricity and billing structure. Everyone is encouraged to attend. Your input and comments matter. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy wishes to inform the general public that locally grown Irish and white potatoes are now available for sale at all supermarkets. In keeping with the government's policy to provide protection to local farmers during the season, license for Irish and white potatoes have been suspended with immediate effect until June 30th, 2026. For more information, please contact the ministry on the following telephone numbers: 266-3266 or 266-4454. Please be guided accordingly. We've come to the end of this edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Thank you very much for joining